My suitcase had one wheel.
You kind of look like a 70s serial killer.
It's like, do you have in your bag hazardous materials, gun, fish?
That you kind of look like a 70s serial killer. No, I like them. Oh, you got 2 pairs of new glasses.
Well, no, these are like just cheapy ones, and they actually are better than the freaking prescription ones.
They're a little big though. What's the is it the Sandlot where the kid has the big glasses?
But what's wrong with these ones?
No, they look good. I like those ones.
Which
I'm
one?
not sure about those ones. I like those ones.
Yes,
I'm not sure about the other ones.
these ones.
They're a little Coke bottle-y.
For God's sake. All right. Good thing they're only $12.99 at Winners.
Don't you need a specific prescription?
Huh?
Don't you need a specific prescription?
Yes.
So
But
why are you
these are
buying
not for
glasses from
reading.
Winners?
These are not. But these are not for. Well, no, these ones from Winners. Like I can see to walk, but I can't see to read.
Okay.
So I can walk for $12.99, but I can't read for $12.99. These I still can't read for $12.99, and they're prescription ones.
But isn't there something called like transitional lenses where you can walk and read? Because what if you need to walk and read at the same time?
Yes. I'm a thrifter and an upcycler. I found these ones at Value Village. They worked good. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Oh my goodness. How's your weekend?
Good. Hot. It was, we are the end of October, and it was like 22 to 25 degrees Celsius here all
Do
weekend.
you see the sunshine on my face right now?
No sun for you.
No,
Only
there is
sun.
sunshine on my face. Do you not
Oh,
see
is
it?
there?
Yeah,
The rain is quit.
because it's quit and it's finally sunny and it's not an atmospheric river
Wow.
anymore.
We were on our e-bikes
Mhm.
Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. We put on over 150 kilometers, and my butt hurts today.
Did you not buy a new seat for it?
I can, Kirsten, I'm a thrifter.
Oh my god. This is
We
what I have
actually went
said.
into Walmart on our way. Because we got halfway through our day, and I'm like, this hurts. Like I'm like, because there's like really nice trails, but they're a bit bumpy. And I was gonna look for one of those gel cover things, but they didn't have any. It's off season here, and I mean next week it's gonna be chilly again, so we're probably not gonna be riding our bikes much more. But next year I'll get a new bike seat.
But so that's a lot of bike riding in one weekend.
Yeah, but the e-bikes, they're e-bikes and they're really nice because you only have to like pedal to. If you're tired, you don't have to pedal. You can just use your throttle and then it'll take you.
So like if you were to put it in percentage, how often you pedal and how often you use the throttle?
I actually pedal a lot. I do.
You?
You would be surprised. I pedal a lot. And you can tell from our battery usages. And when we got finished at the end of each day, and James and I had used the same amount of battery.
Okay. Well,
I know.
I believe you.
The last day when my butt was hurting, I used a little bit more battery than him. But yeah, it was fun. And it was gorgeous. And we had a good time.
No, you sent me those pictures of the fall leaves right now. That's the one thing that I do actually miss about not living in Ontario, like specifically in the fall, in the winter, because most of our trees are coniferous.
Coniferous.
So do you know what a coniferous tree is?
I know what a coniferous is, and I know what a deciduous tree is.
Correct.
And a deciduous is what brings our fall colors, right?
Because the leaves fall off.
Right.
On a coniferous tree, they have cones. Anyways, so there's not as many fall leaves around. Like in Ontario, you get that like vast fields of like yellow and orange, and here it's like kind of dispersed. So I do miss it.
I know.
I mean,
it was beautiful. We stopped at a little bistro on Sunday and had lunch, and it was along a little creek. And I sent you pictures, and the trees were so beautiful in all the different colors. But it happens very quickly. If you don't catch it within that week and a half, 2 weeks, then they're gone. And by Halloween, everything will be gone. But
Can't believe it. I went to on Friday. I went to this like art battle thing that's in our town, and it was really cool. I
What
haven't
did
been out a lot in our kind of my new hometown because I moved. If anyone doesn't know, I moved when I was what was I 7 months pregnant,
Yes.
and I moved 7 months pregnant, and my shoulder was displaced while I was 7 months pregnant. So I basically did nothing until I gave birth, and then I gave birth, and then I did nothing again until the spring, other than just raise a baby.
Yeah.
So I haven't been out to a lot of stuff in our community, but there's like this massive art community on the Sunshine Coast that I'm kind of just seeing now. Anyway, so we went to, it's like this weekend was an art crawl. So all the local artists go and they like open up their studios and you can go and see all their artwork. And then it's a lot more, I think, feasible, I guess, to buy artwork at this time. But they did this art battle. So it was 4 artists and they had big easels and they had an hour to finish a painting, or someone was doing charcoal, other people were doing painting in a theme. So they gave them a theme and they just went. And you could watch it, have some drinks, and then in the front was kind of a vintage thrift shop that you could look through as well. So it was really cool.
That's really neat. And especially to watch them like in real time do the drawings and stuff like that. I always admire when people can just like do it. And like,
I said the exact same thing, that you just get, the one theme was Curiosity Killed the Cat.
wow.
So I was like, I would spend the first 20 minutes sitting there being like, cat. What do I do about a cat? But there was one guy who was painting with both of his hands at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, he was painting like he was doing the picture, and initially you're watching it and you're like, oh, I don't like, this looks kind of basic, not sure what's going to go on, and then all of a sudden it just reveals this like intricately painted woman's face
Wow.
with both of his hands. It was crazy.
That would be so cool to interview someone like that and like learn how they started drawing and how what their thought process is or how they put that to paper. Because I mean, I'm crafty if I have something in front of me to look at and replicate, but like just to go from nothing to that is it always amazes me. Cool.
Yeah. The visual arts, like
Yeah.
I consider myself an artistic person, but not necessarily in visual arts. And
Yeah.
I think you always think like that's like a real artist because it's you're going from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really cool. It
Was
was
there
cool. I
lots of
need to
people
do
there?
more like stuff. It was packed. It
Really?
was packed and it was an atmospheric river, so it was pouring rain. I mean, it was inside, but still, even when it's raining that hard, you don't really want to leave your house at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so packed and packed with like all different kinds of people. There was, you could tell, like older hippie artists, and then the younger crowd. Like there was, you realize you're getting older. There was like some younger, I would say maybe early 20s, and like they're dressed so cool. And I'm like, I am so out of that at this point. But then there was a bunch of people who had their kids there, like 5 to 7 year old kids who were running around. It was really cool.
That's one thing I love about where you live, that art scene there that we don't have here in our community. And I know whenever I come and visit you, I always try to fit in things like that because yeah, there's such a huge community there that are pottery and glass blowing and artists. It's really amazing there.
Well, I think you probably do. It's just a lot more segmented. Like
Yeah.
they've done a really good job at bringing everyone together. Yeah, it's also hard in Canada because I think like when you're walking around the cities, like it doesn't seem like it's super artistic because our cities are not super old. Like in Europe, you walk around and all the cities are old, and art is very much like at the forefront.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
remember when we were in Spain and we what was that artist's name? The one who does all the funky buildings.
Picasso?
No, 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 no. It starts with a G.
Oh, what was his name? Yeah, there was that huge building that he had done.
Let me look it up because it
Yeah.
was oh, that's gonna bug me. Spanish building architect. It'll probably be the first one. Well, it shows me the buildings.
Mm.
Gaudi.
Gaudi, yes, that was it. Yeah.
Antonio Gaudi.
Almost like Picasso, kind of the same.
Well, architect versus a painter.
Yeah.
But that was really cool to see. That was the Basilica, the massive church. I'm butchering the pronunciation right now, but
yeah. And that was the one that was under construction, right? There was
I think it's always under construction.
Yeah, yeah. I remember we did the bus tour around there, and we didn't even bother getting off because there was just so much construction going on that it was hard to even see.
It was cool to see, though.
Yeah.
Do you remember there when we went there the subway system?
We should actually. Okay, so when was this? Kirsten and I traveled. We had like a bucket list trip that we wanted.
Well, no, because remember why we went initially was because I had done a Europe trip.
Right.
When I finished university, and I think 10 days to 2 weeks in, I did something to my foot and it blew up.
Yeah.
And I basically came home early. So I didn't. Yeah, so upset because I did a lot of the UK, but we were going to go into more of like Spain and Portugal and then Eastern Europe, and I just didn't get there. So that's why we went.
Yes. Because I kind of thought you didn't get to do all of that. I wanted to do it. So let's go back and do it together. So yeah, that was what, 2000 and I want to say 2018?
No, it was 2016 because it was the year I got engaged.
Oh, okay. I didn't think it was that long ago. Oh my gosh, time is flying.
No, I don't know, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
But the subway system was all in Spanish, obviously. And it was actually, once I figured it out. But oh my God, trying to navigate that with you, and you basically just threw up your hands and were like,
Kirsten,
I'm not dealing with it.
Kirsten, my suitcase had one wheel.
Why did your suitcase have one wheel?
Because I bought it at the thrift store. And we got off the train and we hadn't even been in Europe for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And my wheel fell off my suitcase. So I did the whole next.
Didn't buy a new suitcase.
No. So I did the next 2 whole weeks dragging a suitcase with one wheel. I did it.
Because you were stubborn about it. I was like, you just buy a new suitcase, and you wouldn't buy a new suitcase.
No. But I navigated through that subway very well with a one-wheeled suitcase.
That was wild. Actually, wasn't that the trip that we started in when our flight was delayed to Dublin?
Yeah, because we sat on the tarmac for hours.
7. I remember it was almost 7 hours. It was 6 hours. And this is what I tell people when I talk about how delayed this flight was. They wouldn't let us off the plane, which I have no idea why. 6+ hours on a plane, they wouldn't let us off. And there was a guy directly across from us who had watched all 3 Hobbit movies. And those are 2+ hours long. And I was like, are you kidding me? He's on the 3rd Hobbit movie and we still haven't got off this plane. It was bad. And then we didn't even take off.
No, I know. But the plane was full because we flew from Toronto to Dublin. So the plane was full of Irish people. And we met the most incredible people, and I still have friends on Facebook actually that I made from that flight.
That's true. We met that. Were they just on vacation? I don't remember why they were.
It was kind of a mixed bag. There was some that had family in Canada. There was some that were just on vacation. But I mean, because we had to get off of the plane, and then we were in the airport waiting for the next flight. And then, of course, they put us up in a hotel. And then we had to meet the next morning at the airport again. So we all had breakfast together. And we kind of just got to know each other and exchanged emails and Facebook. And yeah, it was kind of neat. We met some really fun people.
It was fun. And then we did another trip, which I always I get these 2 trips kind of mixed up in my head. But we did another trip to Europe with my cousins.
Yes.
Maddie and Emma.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone has a better travel story for you than Maddie.
Yeah, and I don't know why I get myself in these predicaments. I think I love traveling, but as soon as I enter, well, maybe not, but as soon as I enter an airport, I have this fear of not getting to my gate and missing a
Okay,
flight.
so I feel like I need her to tell this story though. I'm gonna FaceTime her and
No,
she no,
no,
because she needs to tell because I wasn't there.
no, I know you weren't.
So she needs to tell it better than I tell it.
Oh,
Let's see if she
Maddie, be
answers.
kind.
Oh,
There's Maddie. And Maddie is fresh home from Germany.
Yes, and Belgium.
oh, how was Belgium?
It was really good. I was staying with my friend who just moved there to Brussels, so it was like being a
Nice.
local.
That's nice. I was in Brussels for less than a day and I ate so many fries out of that cone.
Mhm.
And then also a Belgian waffle because I felt like I had to eat both of those things when I was in Belgium.
Mhm.
And I think I like threw up because I ate so much food.
I was
So
excited because it was finally like their specialty foods are not meat.
Mm.
true. Everything else in Europe is meat.
Yeah.
Very much. Oh, especially in Germany. So much like sausages and
Yeah.
fun. So Mom and I were talking about traveling, and we were talking about the time when we all went to Europe together, and then you guys, I stayed for a bit, but she left and went home with you, and that whole story of basically what happened.
So the
And just
whole
be kind, Maddie.
so my Aunt Deidre and my sister and I were flying home from Lisbon, I think.
Yes.
And we had a layover in London, and that's where it started.
Heathrow.
Yes. We had a 4-hour layover, and we got out of that plane running with our aunt, trying to find the next plane. That was like half necessary because we did like get kind of lost a couple times. But when we finally got to security, my sister and I got through easy, and then we see Deidre getting pulled over by whoever with her bag, and we're like, "What's going on?" She was in such a
Her bag with. Did you have a wheel on your bag at that point?
Yeah, I had a wheel on that one.
Okay.
So then the reason why you got pulled over, do you remember?
Yeah, I do.
She had some sardines in her bag for Grandpa. So we
And they
had
wouldn't let me bring them through.
Well,
no.
you can't bring fish across like intercontinental. That's like one of the. It's like, do you have in your bag hazardous materials, gun, lighters, fish?
So that was the end of my sardines.
But you also, came off running even though you had a 4-hour layover. You'd think that it was 15 minutes.
No, I'm terrified of not being able to find my gate. And I think I actually beforehand went on to Google. Maybe it was Google, I'm not sure. And was reading.
Bing? Like, where else would you want?
Because we're going back to like 2018 or something. I don't know what it was at that point where you were looking up how busy Heathrow was. And they were saying like it takes hours and people lose their bags and you can't get to your gate on time. So before I even landed, I was panicked.
She got herself all riled up.
It was very urgent.
Yes.
Getting the sardines home to Grandpa was very urgent.
But
Yeah.
the urgency did not stop when we landed in Canada. Because this is the next part, and I don't know if you remember this section.
Yeah, thank you.
But we got off the plane in Canada, and we were like briskly walking. I don't think we were running that time. But we got up to like the cameras, and I was trying to scan my passport and it like wasn't really doing it. And so you came up beside me and were like, let me do this. And you were like shoving my passport in for me. And then it kept taking pictures of your side profile instead of me. So we could not enter Canada because we could not get the photos.
I do remember that. And I remember like this flash, and there was like, no, I just need you in it and then me. I wish we could have saved those pictures. They would have been funny to look back on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But now nobody will travel with me.
It's too much, Mom. It's too much stress.
I think I'm fine if I just go A to B. It's when there's like that jumping from like destination to destination. And honestly, I probably just need to like go to the back and just follow and just be quiet.
Just
And it would be
no
fine.
talking, no listening, no seeing.
Yeah.
And then I would be fine. Yes.
Oh my goodness. You're wild.
And we should mention Maddie, well, just finished her very first marathon.
Yeah. In Berlin.
Are you
Brussels?
recovered?
Yeah, I've recovered. It's been 3 weeks. I'm ready to
Has
run.
it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What an
it's-
adventure, though.
Yeah, so that was amazing. I went through like every emotion during that race.
I bet. And if anybody doesn't know, a marathon is how many miles?
I think it's 26 point something. It's 42 kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long did it take you to complete it?
Over 4.5 hours.
That's amazing. That's pretty cool.
A long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time to be running.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. Well, maybe I could. I feel like it is kind of a bucket list thing, but like not right now. Maybe when I'm 50.
If you just
Okay.
dedicate like 4 months to training, I think
That's
I
it?
can do it. Minimum.
Non-runners.
Maybe a bit
okay.
more. But like commit
Yeah,
to the build.
Yeah.
No
That's
time
cool.
off.
that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on and telling that story.
Yeah, no problem. I love that story.
I know. Great memories. I miss you, Maddie.
Miss you guys.
Miss
Okay.
you.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
That's funny.
Mhm.
I did text her before, and I'm gonna read you the text that I sent. So I said, are you available in the next hour or so? Because I want to ask you a question about Mom.
Yeah.
And then she said, where's that text message? She goes, oh, what story? And then she goes, oh, wait, the one where she freaked out a bunch of times.
That was so much fun, though. And you know what? It was great because there was you and your husband, Rob,
Mm-hmm.
a friend of yours, and then
Mhm.
Maddie and her sister Emma, and then me. So I kind of was like a tag along right off the get-go, because I was the old girl that you had to wait for while you were climbing up hills and mountains and everything. But
Yeah, but it was fun.
it was a fun adventure. Yeah. And
Ano-
we all checked a lot of things off our bucket list that trip.
Yeah, another thing that everyone, I think our friend Christoph is the story that maybe he tells also, is when we were in Edinburgh and we were climbing that hill, that there's this massive hill.
It was
that
not a hill. It was not a hill.
It was, I think if geologically it would be considered a hill.
Yes.
It overlooks Edinburgh. Like it's this beautiful, beautiful viewpoint. And it's high. Like when you get up to the top, it's high.
Yeah.
But the slope on it when you're climbing up is like this. Like it's not that steep.
No.
But you would think that you were climbing Mount Everest at the very top.
Yeah. It was
You were on your hands and knees being like, I can't look down. I can't look down. And we're like, what the heck?
It was, I don't even think I made it to the top because
because you couldn't look out.
I
And you missed out on
can't
the
do
view.
heights, and it was like a drop off to the side. And I remember just waiting about halfway up and just sitting there waiting for you guys to come back down. And I'm like, this is, not my favorite part of the day.
Oh my goodness. Memories.
I know.
Memories. It was good though. Like when it was just you and I it's funny, I have like a very bad memory for vacations. Like I will forget entire vacations, and I don't have a ton of memories weirdly from our first trip when we went to like Portugal and Spain and stuff. But I do remember sitting in that one like really small like pizza coffee shop.
Yes.
And I remember riding the subway.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not I don't I my memory is bad for stuff like that.
So many little beautiful cafes, and anyone that has not had the opportunity to take a trip to Europe, um, you have to. I think it's one of those things that you have to at least try to do it once in your lifetime, and
Yeah, I
even
agree.
just to experience like the little cafes and have a coffee in Portugal, and yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And I mean, we did it on when you and I went, and even when we went the second time, we did it on a budget.
Yeah,
Like
we both didn't have a ton of money.
no, and we were doing hostels, and we were um, sharing meals, and but we made it work, and it was a lot of fun. It was great.
Do you remember that hostel in Dublin? The
I don't
last one?
like yeah, I don't like to remember, that
That was
hostel. The hostels
bad.
actually all the way through that whole, trip were amazing, great experiences, but I think we didn't book things ahead. We just because we weren't really sure where we were gonna go, we just kinda just went. And I remember we had to get back to Dublin to fly home, and we hadn't booked that last hostel. And you went online to book it, and we couldn't find one. And come to find out, there was a football game that night.
I was gonna say soccer. Good on you for saying football.
Yeah, no, it was, and everything was jam packed. There was
Yeah.
not a place anywhere. And we did find this real dingy hostel, and yeah, was not the nicest
So
accommodations.
we were shoved in with like 12 other people in
Yeah,
this like hallway of a room in
yeah,
bunk beds.
yeah,
And yeah, when we woke up, didn't like we woke up because it was dark when we went in. It was
yeah,
nighttime.
yeah. And it was dark when we went in, and there's people already sleeping, and we had gotten the two top bunks. So we just kind of climbed up there with our suitcases. And I remember at one point, like our heads were facing each other, and like sitting and hanging on each other's hands. Like, are we going to live through this?
Yeah, it was not good.
It was not good. And then when we woke up in the morning, everything that we were worried about was confirmed.
Yeah, when it was in the daylight, we were like, "Oh, this is actually worse.
This is
We
real
need to get
bad.
out of here."
Yeah, we need to. And we did. We ended up, and it was fine. But
Yeah,
and we made our flight. We didn't miss our flight. We got to our gate and we made it home.
we made it home, and yeah, it was a good trip. I'd like to do it again, but I'd like to go to Portugal again, but I want to go in the north of Portugal where all the vineyards are and everything,
Yes. Yeah.
and Italy. I want to go to Italy so bad.
I know. I actually have this girl that I follow on Instagram. I think it's Helen in Between. I think that's what her name is. And she just finished a 10-day walking tour uh, in England, the Cotswold Trail. Kirsten, unbelievable.
That's like that movie, The Holiday. She lives in a Cotswolds cottage.
Yeah, so this trail it takes you 10 days. I think it's 120 miles. I
Mm.
think. I'd have to do some more research on it. But the little villages that she was walking through, and the little quaint little motels that she was staying in,
Ah,
might have
that
to
would
be
be
something. Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
that makes me want a tea, a
I
black
know.
tea with cream,
Yeah.
a black tea and a scone with what's the cream called? Clotted cream?
Clotted cream, I think,
Is
and
that right?
jam. Yeah, so good. Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah, we've got lots of travel adventures still left too. And you
Yeah,
know what? We might have to just do them from here on. You can strap Bodie in your backpack, and away we go.
that's true.
Yeah.
He'd be up for it. He likes new experiences.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So where are we going to go from here?
I don't know. like physically or like trip wise or just like what we're gonna talk about.
What we're gonna talk about. Where are we in? How many? We're in a half an hour.
We're in half an hour.
Yeah.
Grandma's messaging me. What's Grandma saying? Some photo. I hope that you can't hear that beep.
No, it's all good. All right. Well, why don't we wrap it up? And that was fun. A nice little chat about some of our travels. And what do you want to talk about next?
I don't know. I have to look at my list. Well, it'll be a surprise.
Okay.
Surprise episode.
Okay.
Anything you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
I would love to chat about our graphic club for a second. Okay. I love designing graphics, and we have a graphic club on Patreon. If anyone's interested, you can check it out. We'll put the link down in the description. But we have a library of graphics on our website that you can sign up for a monthly fee, and you have access to all of those graphics, and you can go anytime, download them, and craft with them. So if you're interested, check it out.
Sounds good. And other than that, just if you're interested in our upcycled life, just Google us. YouTube will come up, our website will come up, the graphics club will come up. Yep. So there's lots of stuff that you can check out and look at.
Yeah, we do lots of upcycling, thrifting, DIY crafts, full tutorials, and we love lots of crafting friends.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to talk about my thrifting upcycled because I don't do crafts and stuff like you, but I feel like I do it.
Do you know what we should chat about is your adventure into Poshmark? Because that was pretty cool.
We could talk about that.
Okay. All right. Let's do that next episode.
Sounds good.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.